Last year, we spent more time pulling weeds out of our garden than we did actually harvesting our garden. So this year, we just needed to come up with a better plan. We looked into maybe just putting a bunch of thick mulch down. We also looked into no-till gardening, but we ended up landing on this option, which allows us to not pull a single weed all year long. I've heard this called a lot of different things. I call it weed barrier. Let me show you how we're using it. If you've never heard of weed barrier before, it's actually some pretty cool stuff. It's a woven material. So as you can see, it'll start to fray a little bit and it comes apart. But because of that woven material, it allows water to seep down through it. So if you're somebody that waters your garden from overhead from just a sprinkler or something, that water is going to seep down through the fabric, which makes it extremely easy to water. On top of that, because it's a woven material, it allows air to move back and forth between it, which actually keeps your garden cooler than if you didn't have it at all. It really does just kind of work as a normal mulch would. I know that this weed barrier specifically, it's approved for organic gardening, which means none of the plastics that are in this are going to be leaching down into the soil and causing any harm at all. After you water your garden with this stuff on it, it's actually going to keep your garden moist for longer. It's going to keep some of that water from evaporating out, so it keeps it cooler, it keeps it more moist, and it stops a single weed from popping through it. So I want to talk real quick about a couple of things to know if you're laying this stuff down over your garden. First things first, if you till your garden, then you want to till it well before you put this stuff down. If you till it right before, what happens is your garden gets nice and fluffy, right? All of your soil is nice and aerated and it's fluffy. Well, if you put this weed barrier down over that, there's two things that are going to happen. Number one, your little garden staples aren't going to be able to grab onto anything when you push it through. And these are what you use to actually stick this weed barrier into the ground. And if your soil is just too fluffy and too aerated, these aren't going to grab onto anything. So you're going to push it through, and then the first big wind that comes through is just going to rip everything up and blow it all away. The second thing you need to think about is if your garden's nice and fluffy and aerated, and you lay this stuff down, the first time you walk on it, what's going to happen is you're going to have footprints all over your garden, and you're going to have to go and flatten everything back out, and it just creates more work for you. So if you do till your garden, go ahead and till it just like you normally do. But then what you want to do is give it a nice rainstorm or something like that to where it'll all compact back down. If you need to, go ahead and water it all in and just make sure that your soil's down to the level it's going to be for the whole season. Once it's compact down, go ahead and lay your weed barrier out, staple it in, and you won't run into any issues. All right, I hope the camera picks this up all right, but there's lines that run all the way up and down your weed barrier. So when you're laying this stuff out, roll your first roll all the way down your garden. And then when you move on to the next consecutive strips, what you want to do is you want to overlap it a little bit, not a whole lot, about 6 inches. So these lines that are running all the way up and down your weed barrier, those are 1 foot apart. So when you lay down your next row, go ahead and lay it down to where it's about halfway over that first line. This is going to ensure that you don't have any gaps in the whole area and no weeds are going to be getting through. With that being said, once you overlap it, these landscaping pins are actually really easy to push through this stuff. It pops in, pops out really easily, but where you overlap it, it's not so easy. So I was able to do a lot of this just by hand, pushing the landscaping pins in. But wherever I have it overlapped, I had to use a hammer and go ahead and hammer that in. Getting through the 2 layers of weed barrier is actually pretty tough just doing it with your normal hands. Some of you might be wondering, well, Brandon, if you cover your whole garden, where do you put your plants? Pretty easy. All you have to do is cut a little hole just where your plant is. If you're planting just a seed in your garden, just cut a small little hole and put your seed in that hole. If you're putting starts into your garden, cut a hole just big enough to get your roots down into the ground. That's all you need. Here, we use a drip irrigation system. Here in Utah, we're in a pretty serious drought and we're doing anything we can to reduce the amount of water we're using. So we use a drip irrigation system with 1/2 gallon per hour drip emitters for most of our plants. Now, when we lay out our drip irrigation system, we're laying it out on top of our weed barrier for a couple different reasons. A lot of people will put their drip irrigation system underneath the weed barrier. Every once in a while you have an emitter that stops working, or the dog or the goat gets into the garden and pops a hole in one of your lines. Something like that can always happen. So for me, I put it on top of the weed barrier just so if I need to make any repairs throughout the season, it's extremely easy for me to do that. And on top of that, if your irrigation system is on top of a weed barrier, what can end up happening is you might have an issue in your line somewhere that you didn't even know about because it's under your weed barrier, you can't see it. That's why we like to keep ours right on top. So what we'll do is we'll lay out our entire irrigation system first, get everything lined up where we want it, and then what we do, we'll have our irrigation line, we'll have our little emitter sticking out of it, and we'll put our hole right there. So that way, just that one tiny little plant is getting the water right where it's needed. It's still really early in the season, but if you don't know anything about drip irrigation systems, I'll be making future videos on how to set those up, how to get them working. And it honestly does save more water than you can possibly imagine. But if you overhead water your plants, that's just fine too. The water's gonna seep through it without an issue. Some of you might be wondering, well, this looks like a lot of work. Laying all this stuff out, getting it all nice, laying your irrigation lines, cutting your holes, planting your plants, all of that. It does seem like a lot of work, right? Last year, my wife and I spent so much time weeding our garden. We literally spent double the time weeding our garden than we did actually harvesting our garden. And if I'm being honest, it made gardening less fun. I enjoy gardening, I enjoy being out here, I enjoy working in the garden, but when I come out of my house and I see weeds that are taller than the plants I'm trying to grow, it's pretty discouraging and it makes me just want to turn back around and go back inside. So I'll be honest and I'll say that laying this stuff out took me about 1 hour. And this is about a 1,000 square foot garden. And honestly, it would have been faster than that if I would have done it right the first time. I laid it all out, I started putting my pins in, and it took me a minute to get in the groove of how to do it without getting the wrinkles. And if you see behind me, there's still plenty of wrinkles out there. I didn't get it perfect, but it's still gonna work. For me, putting that extra work in now, when it's nice and cool outside, this week, it's been about 45 degrees outside. I would much rather work in 45 degrees and spend an hour out here working, rather than picking weeds out of the garden all summer long when it's 100+ degrees outside. The issue that I've run into when trying to find this stuff at stores is I wasn't able to find the quantity that I wanted. Here are our local Lowe's. I'm pretty sure I can only get 3-foot rolls and they're about 100 feet long. This roll that I have here is 4 feet wide and 300 feet long. This is a bulk package of this stuff and this is what I get. So you can either go to your local garden center, your local Lowe's, Home Depot, any of those things and see what they have there. I'm also gonna leave a link down in the description below where I got this exact roll. I actually bought a 2-pack of this stuff, so I ended up getting 4 feet by 600 feet. And I'm not only doing this part of my garden, I'm gonna do our new garden area and a couple other places. We got this on Amazon, super heavy duty stuff. I love it. So I'll leave a link down there below. If not, head to your local garden center, see what they have there. Gardening should be fun for everybody. You shouldn't have to worry about pulling weeds all summer and just dealing with that kind of a mess. Some people have different ideas of what it means to control your weeds, and this is what our idea is. If you guys want to see how exactly we plant all this out, how we set up our drip irrigation system, how we cut our holes, all of that good stuff, consider hitting the subscribe button, and we'll be posting videos of all of that stuff as soon as we get to that point. Here in Utah, we're gonna be planting out the garden about the beginning of June. So keep an eye out for those videos, they'll be coming, and in the meantime, watch this video right here, because if you enjoyed this one, you'll probably enjoy this one too.